Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back. We are here. We're going to be doing another countdown. Luna is here to join us to continue with the discussion of the best as we do our top 7 countdown list every Tuesday right here on YouTube. And today is a very interesting one since very recently at the time of that video. Limited Ones games have ended up putting out a statement of what going to be one of them very fourth games for the Nintendo Switch they are going to be publishing. And for anyone who do not know about Limited One, of course they are a studio who do physical releases of indie games that usually only have digital versions, and when they do a release, it usually cut down to about anywhere from 2 to about 4,000 copies of said games, which in return come to the name itself. And they are now officially getting into the release of some indie game for the Switch, with the fourth one being announced being Saturday Morning RPG. But that got me thinking, what is honestly some indie games or just digital games in general here that is available right now on the Nintendo Switch that I personally would want a physical version of it to be in my collection? So that's what we are here to discuss today. Today, like countdown the top 7 Nintendo Switch games I want Limited One to publish. So, let's get to it, shall we? Number 7, dude! Starting off the list with a little bit of a given, and any more so with the rise of 3D platformers of this generation, bringing all of them back with the love of Yooka-Laylee Mario and so on. And here another one that was on the list early on in the beginning of the year, and honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing this available. And of course, this is Snake Pass, which honestly, for being a simulation of Snake right along with 3D platformer, the game have an interesting twist on the mechanic of a 3D collectathon platformer. And honestly, shouldn't we have a physical release of it? Shouldn't we? Number 6, dude! Blaster Master Zero, which is of course a callback to the old Blaster Master from the NES time period. And I'm not for sure they had any other release outside of that generation, but nonetheless, all these years later, we are back and we are continuing on with Blaster Master, which for anyone who's not aware of what this is, think of this like a top-down 2D Metroidvania light type of game, which you control either a little character running around shooting and doing platforming, or riding around in a tank doing pretty much the same thing. But nonetheless, the mix and match of game modes here and styles into the base game of Blaster Master, and then on top of that, just a whole like retro vibe of the callback to the pack games. Honestly, is a game that was one of the best digital download in the beginning, and honestly, could still argue is one of the best. And any more so as a hardcore retro collector, it would be nice to actually have another callback to Blaster Master here. Number 5, dude! Enter the Gungeon, which, as a lot of you know, was a game that came out a few years ago, and pretty much have popped up on everything under the sun. And here we are now with it on the Nintendo Switch, and honestly, for a very simple, hard-to-nail, roguelike style top-down shooter, with the charm of everything being bullet, how could you honestly go wrong with it? And honestly, with it being a roguelike, they could add in more so to just having this on the go, and playing heavily into the handheld mode of the Nintendo Switch as a whole. And if you do play it in the console version, the game is still fun no matter how you play it. Number 4, dude. Golf Toy. Here, a little game that was very charming and interesting, and at the same time kind of surprising. Cause who would have thunk putting together a golf game with a local RPG would actually make a fantastic little game? But here we are with Golf Toy that does just that. And honestly, if you guys haven't played this already, this is a very much a nice little play, and honestly will fit in quite well in the games that Limited One have put out in the past. And any more so with this being a Nintendo Switch exclusive at the time of that video anyway, and maybe on PC, but I know Elite Console is Switch only. So that would also add any more so with it getting a physical release. Number 3, dude. Tiny Metal, everybody. Honestly, if you don't know what the game is, think of this as somewhat a spiritual successor slash fan remake, or just heavily inspired by the old Advance War games that we haven't had in so many years. Nintendo, what are you doing with that franchise? But it's good to see a couple games are actually popping up that is doing callback to Advance Wars, and here we are with one that does it in many ways, other than being a little bit 3D, but still with the art style heavily calling back to Advance Wars, and any more so with the gameplay itself. And with it being a recent release over on the Nintendo Switch, there would be another one that would honestly be nice to get a physical, and of course why the hype of the game coming out. And once again, just like Black Master being very much so a callback to what gonna hurt me very dearly to say now, but the retro style of the Game Boy Advance. Number 2, dude. Oh, 4Kids. Here we go. Here a game that speaks to me in so many levels. What would happen if you take a music-based game and mix it with the gameplay style of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the good Pro Skater, not 5. And this is what you get in 4Kids, or with it being a music-based game that is also very heavily tied into combos and trying to impress the audience by not doing the same tricks over and over again, and some fantastic little sketch style animation. The game stands out so very much, and honestly the gameplay itself stands out as well. Number 1, dude. And here we are, my number 1 game I want to see a Switch physical release of, or really just a physical release on anything limited one. Get on this, any if you can't get it for the Switch. And of course that game is Battle Chef Brigade, which the game is available pretty much on everything under the sun. At the time of the video, we still haven't heard anything about physical to my knowledge. And with the game being a hand-drawn beat-em up with a mix of a straight-up puzzle game as you try to make your food and to get higher recommendation from other cooks, having to battle everything under the sun to get what you need for each of your recipe. The game is a mismatch of everything that I love, and with an art style that is just gorgeous to look at. And honestly, this is a game, like I said, I want a physical on anything. I don't care PS4 or Switch, but honestly, since we are getting into Switch game releases here and physical releases of it, honestly, limited one, it would be nice if you would do it on the Switch, or better yet, do it on both PS4, Switch, and maybe Vita. I don't think I have a Vita port now thinking about it. I guess it's not on everything. But nonetheless, Battle Chef Brigade is a great game that, honestly, I just want to hold in my hands. So there you have it. Now in my top 7 games that I want Limited One to do a physical release of for the Nintendo Switch. Feel free to let me know in the comment below of what is some of the indie games that are available digitally over on the Nintendo Switch that you would love to see a physical release of. Might it be just in general, or from Limited One, or many other companies that are doing similar things like Limited One. Either way you go, let me know in the comment below. And of course, who knows, next video we might pick whatever the most highest recommendation is. And speaking of that, if you are new to the channel, if you haven't already, feel free to hit the follow button, or wait a minute, it's sub button. We are on YouTube. I've been on Twitch for too long. Here on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, as we do post new video every single day right here. And of course, new top 7s every Tuesday as well. And of course, if you want to do stay up to date with all that, make sure you hit some bells and do some likes or dislike or comments. You know, do what you do here on YouTube. And of course, if you are interested in my live stream, speaking of that with Twitch, Of course, I do stream over on twitch.tv/20show every single day, starting at 7 p.m. Central Standard. Luna is usually here with me as well. If she, kind of sleeping right now, don't let her fool you. She is a handful when we stream. So, if you want any of that, like I said, come on over to twitch.tv/20show. So anyway, guys, to that time, I've been your wonderful host, Troy, and I'm gonna go play more Foot stuff. If I can ever find my Joy-Cons. Because my Joy-Cons that went missing. It's a whole ordeal. Maybe I will find them. Maybe I'll just buy a Pro Controller. I don't know. Either way. Have a good one, guys. Bye.